Hello everybody, it's Jay Cherry here, and welcome back to another Jam podcast. I believe this is the first Jam podcast of 2020, correct me if I'm wrong.
This is the first Jam podcast, and why don't you tell the world why it's called the Jam podcast?
Well, Jam is basically like short for John and Mike. Mike's my dad's name, so...
Why didn't we call it the Jad or the Dash podcast?
Dash sounds like a knockoff Doge.
D-A-J-E.
Yes, much podcast. Very talk. Wow.
Wow. All right, so, yeah, this is the second podcast of our podcasting world, and it's the first one of 2020. There's a lot we could talk about. There's like the President Trump impeachment trial, and that virus in China that's got the whole country closed down, the almost war in Iran, the volcano in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fires in Australia.
Yeah, but
there's a lot going on in the world.
Leave that to regular news channels.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Are you sure? Because what about Bitcoin? Can we talk about that?
No! What? Why does everything related to you have to do with Bitcoin?
Why do you get so triggered?
I don't know, because you always talk about Bitcoin.
Okay, well, you always talk about roller coasters on your other channel.
Yeah, the channel that I post a lot more on.
Okay. Why'd you say moron?
No, I said more on.
Oh, okay.
Not like...
Okay, all right. So, okay, fine. We'll try to use the channel a little bit more.
Yeah.
This one for podcasting about stuff.
Yeah.
So, I guess we're going to spend some time today talking about Harry Potter, and in this case, the Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah.
And there's... Okay, guys, I know... How long has it been since that movie came out?
I feel like 2009. I'm not sure. I think it's 2009.
Okay, so it's been a long time. We get it. I mean, spoilers, we don't care, because we're not even really going to specifically talk about the movie, although we can.
Yeah. So here's my initial thoughts on the movie.
You actually want to talk about the movie?
Yeah, sure. I love the movie. I thought like all the new characters were awesome. Umbridge was a really good character.
Like her cat plates?
Yeah, her cat plates were awesome. But I think Umbridge just had like that kind of evil vibe to her the entire movie. Even when it wasn't really noticeable, you could tell there was something off about her.
Mm-hmm. Something was going on.
Yeah.
So she was a pretty interesting character. Dumbledore was cranky.
Yeah.
I don't think he's supposed to be cranky.
Yeah, and he actually went through double doors once, which was funny.
Dumbledore went through double doors. Mm-hmm. We saw it too, right?
Yep.
We're like, there it is.
Yeah, and the Ministry of Magic was also really cool because because they used a telephone booth to get down there.
Right.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about some of those things. And actually, a lot of this is going to relate to Universal Studios.
Yeah.
And we like to go.
Love Universal.
Yeah, we love Universul. We
That's
like to go to the one in Florida.
Yeah.
And so we'll get there, but
I'm not going there until I'm not going to Hollywood, to Universal Studios Hollywood, until they get another coaster. I don't care if it's a clone of Rip Ride Rocket. I still just want a coaster. A B&M Hyper like Hollywood Dream
okay.
would be awesome.
So you done talking about coasters?
Yes.
That's for the other channel, man. Okay.
Anyways,
well, that was a little bit of an overreaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah, about Universal. Once I saw the Ministry of Magic, I had a ride in mind for it.
Okay, so we talked about this a little bit, and we got to see in the movie for the first time the inside of Grimmauld Place.
Yeah.
Which was fun, right? Because we've stood outside of Grimmauld Place.
Yeah.
And we even made a video on this channel.
Yes.
Can you put like a tag or something to it?
Yeah. It's really easy to do. You just have to go into YouTube Studio, click cards. You know, it's part of the new YouTube Studio thing.
I don't know about that stuff.
Yeah, go to that.
So we made a video on it, but it was cool in the movie, getting to see inside it. We did note that the portrait of his mother screaming at everybody was not in the movie.
Yeah, it was just in the book. And speaking of the book, so we actually got like halfway through the book and we're like, yeah, forget it. We'll just watch the movie.
No, we didn't say that. We got distracted. And we
got distracted.
I'm sitting there holding this keyboard. I'm going to put this down.
Yeah.
So we just... Remind me not to step on this because we'll end up stopping the recording or shutting down the computer like I did a few minutes ago but when we were about to start. So I'm just going to set it down. We don't need it right now.
That's literally what Max does. We'll walk on the computer. And
yes, Max is John's little brother.
No, he's my cat.
Okay.
And he's also known as Podcat Jr.
Podcat Jr. So, okay, so we got to see the inside of Grimmauld Place. We got to, we didn't get to see in the movie his screaming mother. If you watch our video, one of the things that we put up there, one of the things that John argues in that video is that it would have been super cool if there was a walkthrough of Grimmauld Place. Mm-hmm. And we thought, like, give it a kind of a Halloween sort of vibe.
Yeah, and they could actually, like, up the Halloween stuff, like, during Halloween Horror Nights.
Right.
Like, give it a new plot and everything. Have, like, maybe, like,
true.
little Dementors, like, actors dressed in Dementor
right.
stuff.
Well, yes, we got to see that. And actually, that's true, because the movie opens with the Dementors going after Harry and Dudley.
Yeah.
So that was pretty intense right from the beginning. And this whole movie had more of a cinematic feel. It felt less like it was done on a bunch of sets.
Yeah.
But it was actually like in a real place, which I thought was interesting. What else did you like about it?
Well, let's get back to the Ministry of Magic.
Oh, right, the Ministry of Magic.
Ministry of Magic.
Don't get into the ride yet.
Yes.
Just we're talking about the movie.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I really like. I think Sirius Black had more screen time in this than like Prisoner of Azkaban or anything.
Yeah, he had some good screen time. And of course, you got the song, that moment at the end of the movie, which was sad, but we won't get into that.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, spoiler alert! It's been 10 years. Sirius Black dies at the end. Oh, dang it! Now what? Are they going to ban me from Harry Potter YouTube?
Don't just don't pay attention to it.
All right, don't pay attention to me. So, I thought too that there were some other elements that I noticed that have already been worked into Universal. I think about the train ride, right?
Yeah.
When you're heading back from Hogwarts.
So yeah, and you actually see Friend George like on the screen, even though he insists it's real. You actually see them like toss up a bunch of fireworks and like spells out Weasley's Wizard Weasley's now open in Diagon Alley and stuff like that.
Right.
That was actually like played in the movie, except instead of the Weasley's open stuff like that, it was actually just a simple W.
Simple W, but they played the music.
Yeah, they played the music.
So they interrupt the Owls, the finals at the end of the whatever, when they decide they don't want to go to school there anymore, which was kind of funny because they decide to leave the school, make a big deal because of what's her name?
Umbridge.
Yeah, Dolores Umbridge,
yeah.
And she gets kicked out of there at the end. So they should be on their way back. But, they make the big deal. They disrupt the Owls. They fly around. They shoot off fireworks.
Yeah.
They make that big firework dragon that eats Umbridge. And then, that's the end of her.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Oh, no, wait. They have to take her out to the forest. Try to get rid of her there. But the music from that scene they actually use on the train at Universal.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun, right?
Yes, and by the way, the reason he says it's real is because he actually looked down, the screen, he actually looked down and he thought he saw, like, real-life brick.
So you're talking about on the train ride at Universal?
Yeah, so now he insists
okay,
it's
so
real.
if you go to the Universal Orlando Harry Potter world, the train is real.
Yeah.
And you are getting on it and you're riding over from King's Cross Station over to Hogsmeade, and that's super cool. And that's the other thing, too. You get to see in the movie the train station at Hogsmeade, and frankly I think the one at Universal is even cooler than the one that they have in the movie, because in the movie it was kind of small, not very impressive, and in this one you walk through the woods, you wind through the woods, like
you see this, and then you go through this train station up some stairs, you see this giant train before you. Right,
and it's real, and you board the train and you ride. I mean, I'm sure if you're interested in Universal, you've probably watched videos of this thing. We've probably ridden it 15.
Yeah, I even have a
20
video
times
on Coaster Fusion about it.
It's just the train's awesome. It's worth the ride. But it's cool to see the way they've integrated aspects of the movies, right? And then what else did so you like the phone booth?
Yeah.
Kind of wish the phone booth at Universal, which is there. Although it kind of stands up by itself. In the movie it was tucked over against the wall.
And basically what you do, I've never done this before, but next time we go, I'm going to have to do this. I think you have to like put in some code I'll have to look up soon. And then like you dial it and it has like a little like message or something. Kind of like the answer the phone dingus it's for you at Simpsons World over.
Which is across the lagoon.
Yeah, which is across the lagoon.
Kind of breaks the mood, right? So you're standing there in Universal in front of London.
Yeah.
And you got King's Cross Station.
Diagon Alley where there's...
right. And Grimald Place and the triple-decker bus.
Yeah.
And the phone booth, right? Mm-hmm. And then you turn around and there's Springfield across the...
yeah.
It's like Lego Dimensions. It's all like mashed together. Okay. Yeah, I'm triggering him. Lego Dimensions.
No.
He was a big fan.
Yeah.
He was an earlier day. Okay, so you missed those days. So let's talk about kind of what you're imagining for the because you think that they need to do something with the Ministry of Magic there at Orlando.
Yes. So people are saying Universal is building a new park called Epic Universe. So it may go there, but that's also kind of where I imagine the Fantastic Beasts area will be. But I think so. There's a show called Fear Factor Live. It's like kind of tucked in the way, right next to Men in Black. You can actually hear the audio from Fear Factor Live in the line for Men in Black once. I did that, and I'm like, hey, I hear the show. I think they could like get rid of that and put in the Ministry. Have like a London facade in it, and so basically you enter the ride through this phone booth, and unfortunately it wouldn't like go down like that. You just enter through this big old phone booth, and that would be the ride entrance. You wind through some like ways until you finally get to the main like plaza where you can see the Ministry. There's like some shops there, and then there's the ride entrance.
So let me stop you there. So when you're in the Ministry of Magic, I mean, it would be cool. Remember in the movie as they're walking through there, that you've got the smaller statue of the pond, and then up ahead you have the big statue, and then you had the big banner with Cornelius Fudge on it, and then you had the flues, the chimney systems where the people were popping out of those, and then you get into the rotunda or the big, I don't know what to call it, but anyway, the big open area, and there's like glass offices. Am I remembering this right? I think I am, because I'm thinking at the end of the movie when Dumbledore and Voldemort are facing off, and remember Voldemort breaks all the windows, and he like turns them into all shards of glass, and then sends them flying at them, and then Dumbledore puts up that shield, and when the glass hits the shield, they all disintegrate into sand, which was a pretty cool effect. Yeah. So I think that all took place in that main area. Yeah. Right? So, okay, so you go in that main area. Do you see, like, you know when you go into Hogsmeade or you go into Diagon Alley, there's like all these shops. Do you see anything like that in there?
Well, you do see like a few shops. There's like this currency exchange that they would have like, they also have it at Diagon Alley, but why not put another one just because? They have that. They have like the gift shop for the ride, and then like maybe off to the corner of the right corner a bit, you could see the ride entrance. It would be this elevator that you go through, and then you go through the queue, right? The queue would like wind around a few passageways.
It sounds like you're kind of describing Gringotts a little bit.
Well,
how's it going to be different?
Okay, so you're gonna go in and go down some like hallways that have little posters of like famous witches and wizards throughout time, and then there's like Q videos explaining kind of the backstory of the ride and all that. Basically. So
then what happens in the ride? What's like the story? What do you imagine the story of the ride being?
I don't really have that worked out yet, but my general idea is that basically you Muggles somehow have found a way into the Ministry of Magic. Somehow. We don't know why. All right. And you have to find an escape route. So you go to the pre-show room. It would explain all that. In the pre-show room's actually the little court that Harry was in. Yeah. Or here's another idea. You know how Harry went to the Ministry of Magic court because he performed magic? Well, what if this actually kind of sequels Gringotts, where like people have done like magic in the presence of muggles, right? Well, so then you are sent with the characters from Gringotts because you've been performed. You're kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of jumbled up. I'll get it worked out soon, but yeah, after.
It sounds like you just have to work on it.
Yeah,
Okay, here's another thing. I don't want to spoil it for him. He hasn't seen the last 3 movies, so he doesn't really know about the Elder Wand yet.
Yeah.
But there's a huge scene in several other scenes that take place inside the Ministry of Magic, and I think you're going to incorporate some of there's a big scene with Draco Malfoy and Harry Potter, and I think that's got to be incorporated in somehow. But I think Draco needs more screen time in the wizarding world at Universal Studios.
Yeah.
Because I think he had some good presence early on. Because isn't that another thing he was barely in the movie, the Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah.
Right. So he's still going to work out this plan for this ride because he did not have it worked out coming into the
I did not.
Coming into
I'll
the
have
video.
to wear out the story and all that. But then after that, you then descend into kind of the vaults. Remember from the last where they kept all those little balls?
Yeah, the halls of mystery or
the halls of mystery,
chamber of mysteries, whatever they call it.
That's where you're going to board your ride vehicle. It's basically going to be kind of like an elevator, but it'll be the ride vehicle will be somewhat like kind of a cross between it's like the Transformers ride vehicle, but it can like lift up and down and drop and all that.
So I thought we were talking about maybe if you took out the Fear Factor area and you took out Men in Black.
I would like that and dislike that because I really like that.
So you would like both, but we were thinking like Men in Black is starting to get dated.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really.
You need to refurbish it, but do not refurbish it to international.
Well, anyway, I think that like people are starting to lose interest in Men in Black, and so
it's always had like short wait
Personally,
times.
I would say short wait. Personally, I would say get rid of it, and like you'll live and take the Fear Factor area and turn that into the Ministry of Magic, kind of like you have a Gringotts, right?
Yeah.
The Ministry of Magic. It's really interesting. London on the outside, Ministry of Magic on the inside, and then the queue path would take you around so that you would end up in the space where Men in Black currently is. And my feeling is that the shooter ride is there a term for that?
I feel like it's called a rail shooter.
Okay, so you're on.
It's just an interactive.
I think you keep that. I think you keep that because remember, there's the wizard battles that take place in the Ministry of Magic. So everybody would have a shooter connected to their little car that they're in that looks like a wand, right? And you're shooting at things that are coming at you in the Harry Potter world. So you still get kind of like the Hall of Justice at Six Flags, Spider-Man.
That's not.
Was that a shooter?
No.
There's no shooter in that?
No, that's just a regular dark.
So
it's still amazing.
So is Men in Black the only shooter at Universal?
Pretty much. Yeah.
It was?
Yeah.
There was no shooter in Spider-Man?
No.
It was just
or Transformers.
It was just 3D.
Yeah, it was just 3D.
Okay, so then I'm thinking.
Still great though.
Right, so I'm just thinking of Hall of Justice.
Yeah, just sleep out from Metropolis.
That's right. Whatever.
It's like Summer, Texas.
Hall of somethings. So I think you need I think that would be the thrust of the ride. And would it be cool if there were 2 cars you could get into, kind of like in Gringotts, where you have 2 cars and you can board on one side and you board on the other.
You switch tracks.
Right, but you get to make a choice between Order of the Phoenix and Death Eaters.
That would be cool, and they could have like separate storylines for that one. For those.
Or they would just, depending on which track you went on, maybe because remember how in Men in Black there was a point at which you were interacting with the other cars and you could shoot at them.
Yeah.
So if you're in the Death Eater car, then when you get to a certain point and it should be synced up with the Order of the Phoenix card, you can actually blast at each other. That would be super cool, right? Because that is what was going on, at least in the Order of the Phoenix, inside the Ministry of Magic. So I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a great replacement.
And it could have like elevator lifts, and it could maybe drop at one point, kind of like Wonder Mountain Guardians.
Yeah,
Wonderland.
Let's do some innovative things in there.
Yeah.
Doesn't all have to be flat, right?
Right.
I mean, it's still a flat ride.
Yeah.
Because it's not going up and down.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that how that works?
Yeah.
He's the expert. I don't know. I'm a GP. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's pretty cool, right?
Right.
And that would be a neat way to kind of bring Harry Potter World kind of around the lagoon there at Universal Studios Orlando. I don't know if they could do this in California.
Yeah. Because they don't have a Men in Black ride at California.
Right, and we haven't been to the California one, and all we know is the train is just a...
It looks pretty good. Their Mummy looks great, honestly. Their version of Revenge of the Mummy, it's actually like completely different from Florida's.
Okay, so we're gonna save that for the Coaster Channel.
Yeah, for the Coaster Channel.
For the Coaster Channel.
And if non-coaster enthusiast viewers are watching this, it's okay if you didn't understand a lot of what we said.
I think they'll make it. Okay, so we are about 20 minutes in.
Yeah, and so I was thinking, what Harry Potter, like maybe a Harry Potter game would be good on? I think Oculus. So basically, we got an Oculus Rift a few months ago. I love it. We played some great games on there, like Vader Immortal. That's like this giant Star Wars story mode game. That's awesome. Yeah, you can actually use the lightsaber on it. You play Box VR and VR Fitness Warrior.
Yes.
I tried that out. That's pretty cool. But my favorite game of all is Beat Saber. You just slash blocks and through music. But I think there should be a Harry Potter game on VR.
I mean, just imagine that, right?
Yeah.
So, and then we actually have something to show you that we think is really cool, and we're going to pop over to it in just a minute. But just, what would you pay? Like, you can go to Universal Studios, right?
Right.
And you can go into the Hogwarts Castle. Right? It's just a queue line, he just said. It's theming. All right. So that's great, and there's certain areas in there that are really cool. It's fun to look at.
Yeah.
But, I mean, can you imagine
if you could actually tour Hogwarts?
And maybe there's a little mystery to it, and there's puzzles
like
to solve.
Yeah, there's like a big story mode to it. My idea was actually just to like kind of make a spin-off similar to Vader Immortal, what themed the Harry Potter instead of Star Wars. Like the game mechanics would be the same, or you could like use stuff with wands, and there's even like a microphone on the Rift, and it could have some voice ID, so you have to like actually say the spells.
Right. So that's a if you had some kind of adventure, that'd be pretty cool. But I'm telling you, if it was just strictly sort of an experiential walkthrough, where you could go to just go into the castle and basically the whole thing is mapped out, and you could move through it, and you could go out onto the grounds and go and see Hagrid's hut.
Yeah.
You could go over to the Quidditch field and maybe get on a broom and zoom around the Quidditch field. Of course, I would get nauseous from that.
Yeah, and you can.
I would get airsick.
Use your little Oculus.
Oh, chase the snitch.
Yeah.
So even just that, I mean, I think if they had something like that on the Quest or the Rift or
Rift S,
or the HTC, whatever it's called, or on PlayStation,
PSVR.
Yes, PSVR. I think they would sell a ton of these things. And I would love it. I would do it.
And my idea was actually to create a prequel to the first Harry Potter, so it happens a few years before.
Well, that's if you made like an adventure game.
Yeah.
There could be some when
it
wouldn't matter who was there. Maybe you had the McGonagall and Dumbledore and Snape and the others, but it was a different set of kids because it took place before.
And James and Lily Potter would be main characters because they're not dead yet. Maybe. Right.
So, anyway, there's a lot of interesting stuff there, but I looked and I looked and I looked, and I couldn't find any Harry Potter content that was any good
until now.
So, we're going to look at this video. And I will be honest with you, I've only skimmed part of it, but I've read some reviews, and I'm going to put a link down below. I wish I had the guy's name who made this thing. It's like instead of fanfic, it's like fan VR.
Right.
And it's apparently pretty amazing. So he's put together a trailer.
Yeah, it's not much. You can just explore the Ravenclaw Common Room. It's literally called Ravenclaw Common Room VR.
Right. But I think it's going to be interesting to look at, even if it's only, I think it's about 50 seconds long. And then John here in another video,
we'll do a walkthrough.
We'll do a walkthrough and give you a little feedback on what he thinks. So let me go ahead and collapse our camera down. There we go. All right. So now, we're looking over at it, and let's just watch it for a minute without commenting. Well, it's gonna be hard. Oh, and here we are. Inside the Ravenclaw Common Room.
Whoa, you can actually learn spells. That's awesome.
Make stuff float around the room. Ooh, bubbles. Look, take books off the shelf. Oh.
Break plates.
Break plates. I'm sure they'll appreciate that. Oh, Reparo. Learn about the Zodiac and the solar system. So, Ravenclaw Common Room VR. So what's seeing that? What's your impression?
I think it actually looks good. Because you can do stuff with the wand, and hey, hopefully Oculus will see this and partner up with Warner and make a full blown Harry Potter game.
Right, and we'll do an extended walkthrough. Now this is Colin Cody Waters is the guy's name who built this.
Yeah,
and he
only has 27 subscribers on his YouTube channel. He deserves more subscribers, honestly.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
But you haven't experienced it yet. Mm-hmm. And I think we need to check it out before we're ready to say winner chicken dinner on this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a little teaser, but can you imagine if you had a full area, a full castle to walk through?
Yeah.
Like you could even get down into the dungeons.
Yeah.
And into the bathrooms and see Moaning Myrtle and doing her thing and all the ghosts all over. You could go into the Great Hall.
Yeah.
Sit down and have a meal with the kids. Be a little weird if you're random adult. Going in the middle of the school day and having dinner with the kids.
But if they made a full blown adventure Harry Potter game, it wouldn't. I think it would be. I think you would feel less kind of weirded out by it, but hey, maybe. Anyways,
So I think that'll be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing your walkthrough, and we'll try to get that done later in the week. All right, so we're at about 30 minutes, which is kind of the length that we're going for.
Some podcasts go over 2 hours.
Yeah, not this one. At least not right now.
Because people have more free time than we do.
Yeah, you don't have any free time because you've got.
I barely get free time.
Because you got school.
I barely get free time
all the time. You have to just school, and then piano.
And then, oh no, you only have 5 minutes to do your video stuff, and so you gotta go down to eat.
Yeah, and video stuff. Video stuff, as he shakes the camera all over the place, normally means I'm really doing VR Beat Saber. So this is here's his helmet. There he is. He looks pretty awesome. And
have you actually seen me grind those beats in Beat Saber? I can actually go really fast.
Can ya?
Yeah, earlier today I was going and that was.
Oh, I don't know why I put that up again.
Yeah, I don't know.
So anyway, that's the dude. He put it on so it actually activated.
Hey, the Oculus menus showing up.
Oh yeah, when you put it on, it activated it.
But it's doing that weird. Oh, I'm in the house now. But yeah, it's doing that weird kind of outside the play area thing.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I hear you. All right, so I think that's going to wrap it up for us. The next time, hopefully later this week, we post. We'll show you the inside in more detail of the Ravenclaw common room. You're a Hufflepuff, though. I don't know if we should let you in.
No, I'm Gryffindor.
Oh, yeah, you're Gryffindor. Mom's a Hufflepuff. I don't think we should allow you into the Ravenclaw. Well, you can come in.
Yeah, I can
I'll see that you can
fine.
get in.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Do you want to say anything as we get out of here?
Well, if you like this podcast, be sure to hit like, comment below, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell icon so you won't miss any random content I put up. I made a remix of elevator music the other day. I might put that up. But, yeah. Just subscribe if you want some random videos and VR videos like this. And I will see you all next time, guys. Goodbye.
Bum, bum.